Hi, this is Lee Purcell, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Roberts with a reminder that the next edition of TV Confidential will premiere next week on the station at the usual time. Our guests will include Kevin Hamilton and Ned O'Gorman. Kevin and Ned are the co-authors of Look Out, America, the secret Hollywood studio at the heart of the Cold War. Join us for that. In the meantime, our friends at the Hollywood Museum honored Richard Pryor Jr. earlier this month at an event in which Richard also donated one of the costumes he wore from the movie College Debts to the Hollywood Museum for display as part of this summer's annual Reel to Reel exhibits. One of the most popular exhibits at the Hollywood Museum, Reel to Reel provides an educational, entertaining, an informative look at the milestones and influence that LGBTQ characters and plot lines have had in Hollywood over the past century. This year's Reel-to-Reel exhibit will open to the public on Friday, June 7th. For more information, go to thehollywoodmuseum.com. The Hollywood Museum formally unveiled the costume that Richard donated to the Reel-to-Reel exhibit at a public event earlier this month, in which Richard also signed copies of his book, In a Pryor Life. We're at the Hollywood Museum for a special event honoring Richard Pryor Jr. Richard Pryor Jr., author of In a Pryor Life. It's your book signing here tonight in Hollywood. And Richard, thanks for, you're the man of the hour, but thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Well, no problem. Thank you for having me. This is great.
You're here for a couple of days. Yesterday I saw on social media you were at the some of the daytime Emmy events. And
right. Yeah, I was at the Emmy events, and I did a Comedy Store event last night, a book signing, and then today I'm at the Hollywood Museum doing it over again. I'm loving this. I love the vibe and atmosphere here.
Oh, absolutely. And as you do more public events, is there any one part of the book, of your story, that people gravitate to, or does it depend on where you are?
It depends on where I'm at, because I look at the crowd and the type of crowd that I have, and that's what I usually read towards, to pick the things out that would fit the area where I'm at and what I'm doing at the time. So like right now we're in Hollywood, I'm picking out more stories that deal with my father and myself, and what it's like being here in Hollywood growing up as a child of a celebrity.
And as you talk about in a prior life, and as we talked about when you visited our show a couple of weeks ago, you worked very close with your dad off and on. You were like the first person he would when he was given spec scripts or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. He would give me the scripts, and he said, read this and let me know what you think. And I started doing it, and it was like he would pick. He would listen to my decision as far as yay or nay on the script, like, pass it, or yeah, let's try to develop it and make it into film, or yeah, I'm acting this. So those were great moments.
Do you think in terms of what you thought was funny, or what he would think was funny, or?
Well, I of course I was thinking of what I thought was funny, because a lot of times when people don't want to necessarily see what the artist is doing, because the artist is just doing the work. And a lot of times it's important to see what other people think. So a lot of times I think my input was important in that aspect, because I was outside of that and not in the circle. I was on the outside. So it's more like a normal person, quote-unquote normal person, their input.
So it's like he got the best of both worlds, because he would get the inside and the outside.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Now, I know that performing is in your blood. We talked about that. You've talked about that in a prior life. Do you have any stage shows or singing engagements in the works that you're able to top it?
The only thing I'm working on right now is to create my book into a one-man show. And that's my thing I'm working on once this settles down a little bit, is to start on that and to get that taken care of and get going.
With all the various characters in your family life, and given your talents and your ability as a storyteller, I could definitely see it as a one-man show.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to dig into the characters and play each of those characters. Seeing them come to life on stage is going to be awesome.
Richard Pryor is with us at the Hollywood Museum. Richard is the man of the hour. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes. This is your night, and thank you for spending a few minutes with our audience.
Thank you so much for having me.
In a Pryor Life by Richard Pryor Jr. is available in hardcover, paperback, and as a Kindle edition through BearManorMedia.com, as well as Amazon.com, and wherever books are sold online. For our listeners on the East Coast, Richard Pryor Jr. will be appearing at the Levitas Center for the Arts at the Southampton Cultural Center in Southampton, New York, on Sunday, May 26th, beginning at 5 p.m. For more information on this event, go to inapryorlife.com/schedule. Among the many other stars attending the Hollywood Museum book signing for Richard Pryor Jr. was a very bright and very talented young man named Brandin Stennis. Brandin is just 12 years old, but as you are about to hear, he has a tremendous personality and a lot of presence. We're here at the Hollywood Museum, at the Richard Pryor Jr. book signing event, and we're here with Brandin Stennis. And this is Thinking on Your Feet, because Brandin and I have just introduced each other, but Brandin is an actor, and he is a host. Now, what do you host? Do you host a radio show? Do you host a podcast?
So I host a lot of stuff. I've been invited to host many things. I've hosted red carpets. I've hosted my own show, which is called The Red Carpet Kid, and I post those videos on my Instagram, and I'm starting up a YouTube channel to post them. And I've also posted a couple events. I've hosted one called Black Minds Matter, and I think that was some months ago, and I hosted that, and I hosted another one, and I did a poem there, and yeah. I've hosted some book signings, yeah.
Now, this is radio, so we're going to have to visualize this, but Brandin, how old are you?
I am 12 years old.
Now, you're 12 years old. You have the presence of a 42-year-old person.
I'd say 43.
Where did that come from? Did you always want to be a host? Did you always want to do media? Did you always want to do something in entertainment?
Well, you see, when I was young, my friends were like doing acting and stuff. So I told my mom, I'm like, well, let's try this out. So I don't know how she did it. She signed me up for some stuff, and I started doing little things like background and little jobs, and I moved on to doing main character roles in commercials and co-starring in TV shows, and I don't even know how this happened, but it's so fun, yeah.
We're talking to Brandin Stennis here at the Hollywood Museum at the Richard Pryor event. Where can people follow you, Brandin?
You can keep up with me at my Instagram page. It's at Brandin with an I-N, so Brandin, and then it's Stennis, which is S and then tennis.
Okay, S is in tennis. Now we're going to, when we get home, we're going to follow Brandin. So if you're on Instagram, just follow us or follow Brandin, and you can keep up on all the things that Brandin is doing. So what do you have going on coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I just finished 50 episodes of an upcoming science show, and that is with the company ABC Mouse. You may see their commercials on TV. It's a website, and it's an early learning academy for youth. And I worked with them. I did 50 episodes for a show, and yeah. And right now I'm in a new play coming up, so I'm going to be posting updates with that on my Instagram.
We're talking to Brandin Stennis. Brandin is an actor. He's a host, internet host. He's on Instagram. He's on social media. He does commercials. He is the new king of all media, and we're happy that he's also a very stylish young man, even though he's only 12 years old, even though he has the presence of someone with way more experience than that. He's got this lovely red sparkly necktie. Is that something you picked out?
I did not pick this out, but thank you. My mom picked me out. I can see she's my manager, my stylist, she's just a little bit of everything. She's like my social media manager. She does a little bit of everything, but she picked out my outfit, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, Brandin, you may only be 12, but you're never too young to understand that in the entertainment industry, nobody succeeds alone. Everybody gets help from everybody, whether it's their mom, whether it's their team. So you're on the right path.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Brandin Stennis. Where can people find you again?
You can find me on my Instagram page at Brandin Stennis, Brandin with an I-N, and then it's Stennis, S, and then it's tennis.
Actor Brandin Stennis from the floor of the Hollywood Museum at the book signing earlier this month for Richard Pryor Jr. We'll continue our coverage of that event after this quick time out here on TV Confidential. Got a product or service that you want our listeners to know about? Become an advertiser or underwriter of TV Confidential and let our brand help promote your brand. For more information, go to televisionconfidential.com/advertise or visit the TV Confidential page at advertisecast.com.
If you haven't been listening to TV Confidential, this is who you're missing.
Jen Asner, Connie Stevens, Dawn Wells,
Eric Braden,
Tony Camille,
Anson Williams, Don Most, Roy Finnis, Peter Marshall,
Sherry Alberoni,
George Slaughter, Dan Castellaneta, Taylor Hicks,
Lindsay Wagner, Loretta Swit,
And many, many more of your favorite celebrities and people behind the scenes in the world of television. That's TV Confidential. Every week on this station and every day online at televisionconfidential.com.
Become a TV Confidential confidant and receive unlimited access to the last 5 years of TV Confidential, plus other exclusive members-only content. Enter the coupon code CONFIDENTIAL when you sign up to become a confidant, and your first month of membership will be just $4.95. That's $5 off the regular monthly price. To join right now, go to televisionconfidential.com, click Become a Confidant, and enter the coupon code CONFIDENTIAL.
Be part of our conversation. If you have thoughts on what you've heard tonight, whether you agree or disagree, we want to hear from you. Send us an email, talk@tvconfidential.net, talk@tvconfidential.net, and we'll work your comments into our next program.
TV Confidential is available online for listening on demand as a podcast through iTunes, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere else where you could download podcasts. You can also listen to recent episodes of TV Confidential on demand for free on the Listen Now page at televisionconfidential.com.
Uber is the mobile app that connects you with a driver for immediate transportation. Request a ride at the tap of a button and you have a driver curbside in minutes. You can choose to be driven in a black car, SUV, or you can choose UberX, the low-cost Uber, for a ride in a hybrid or mid-range car. Payment is seamless and cashless, billed to your card on file with no need to tip. Enter the promo code TV Confidential after you download the app to receive a free first ride up to $20. For more information, go to get.uber.com/go/TV Confidential.